Welcome, everyone. One of the best ways to prepare for the IELTS speaking test is to see it in action. That's exactly what we're doing today with this complete mock test from Spinta. As you listen, think about what the candidate does well and where they could improve. Afterwards, we'll compare notes with a full performance breakdown. Let's begin.
Good morning. Can you tell me your full name, please?
Good morning. My name is Daniel Martin. You can call me Daniel. I am from a small town near the city, and I come here for the test today.
Where do you live now?
Well, I live in the city center now. I have been lived here for 5 years because I moved for work and study, and it is convenient for me to go to office and university. The area is quite busy, but I like the variety of shops and cafes.
Do you work or study?
I work full-time in an IT company, and also I study part-time for a management certificate. It is a bit hard to balance, but I think learning is important for my career, and I try to manage both with planning and small goals each week.
Right. What do you enjoy about your job?
I like that my job is problem-solving, designing solutions, and working with team. Sometimes it is stressful because of deadlines, but I learn new skills and meet interesting people. Also, the salary is okay, and that helps me to save for travel.
Let's move on. What do you usually do at home in the evenings?
In the evenings, I normally relax after work. I cook simple dinner, watch some news or a short documentary, and then I read. I am really interested about music also, so sometimes I play guitar or listen to new songs. It helps me to unwind before sleep.
Do you often spend time with your family?
Yes, I try to see my family on weekends. My sister live in another town, but she come sometimes. She have 3 brother, and we are close. We talk on phone a lot and share jokes, especially when someone has problem, we support each other.
Okay. Do you have any hobbies?
Yes, as I said, music is main hobby. I also like running, and occasionally I paint. Running helps me to keep fit and clear my mind. Painting is more relaxing, and I am not very skilled, but it is enjoyable and a good break from screens.
Why do you like running?
Running makes me feel energetic and less stressed. I usually run in park near my home in the morning or after work, depending on weather. It is cheap, you only need shoes, and I can meet friends sometimes for longer runs, which is motivating.
Thank you. Now part 2. I will give you a topic and you have 1 minute to prepare. Here is your card. Describe a memorable trip you took. You should say where you went, who you went with, what you did there, and explain why it was memorable. You have 1 minute to prepare.
Okay. Last year I went to the mountains with 2 close friends for a weekend trip. We traveled by bus early morning and arrived at small village near the trail. We hiked to a viewpoint, visited a local market, and stayed in a guest house run by a family. The hike was quite challenging because of steep paths and changing weather, but the view from the top was amazing, with layers of green hills and a river shining in sunlight. One evening we talked with the guest house owner about local history, and he told stories that made the place feel alive. It was memorable because it was the first time I managed a long hike without giving up, and I realized I can do more physically than I thought. Also, spending time with friends, cooking simple meals together, sharing laughter made it special. The simplicity of the trip and the strong sense of achievement left me calm and proud, and I still look at the photos when I need motivation for difficult weeks at work.
Right. When was that trip?
It was in autumn last year. Around October the weather was cool and colors of leaves were beautiful, which added to the atmosphere of the trip.
Let's move to part 3. I will ask some questions about travel and leisure. Do you think travel is important for people these days?
Yes, I think travel is important because it opens your mind and exposes you to different cultures and ways of life. When people travel, they learn to be flexible and patient, and they can gain new perspectives that sometimes change their priorities. Travel also helps to break routine and reduce stress, which is useful in busy modern life.
What are the advantages of traveling with friends rather than alone?
Traveling with friends gives you companionship and safety. You share costs and memories, and it is easier to make decisions about activities. When you are with friends, you can split responsibilities, take turns planning, and help each other in difficult situations. However, traveling alone can be rewarding too, because you may meet new people and make spontaneous choices.
Do you think people travel more now than in the past?
Yes, generally people travel more, because transport is cheaper and information is easy to find online. Budget airlines and digital booking made trips more accessible to many people. Also, flexible work arrangements allow some to combine travel with work. But there is also concern about over-tourism in some places, which affects environment and local life.
How can tourism affect local communities?
Tourism can create jobs and income for local communities, improving infrastructure and services. But if it is not managed well, it can damage environment, raise prices for locals, and change culture into performance for tourists. Sustainable tourism is important to keep balance, like limiting numbers, supporting local businesses, and protecting natural sites.
Okay. Do you think technology changes how people plan holidays?
Definitely yes. Technology gives instant access to reviews, maps, and booking, which makes planning quicker and more confident. People use apps to find best deals and local activities. On the other hand, too much reliance on screens can make people follow the same popular lists rather than discovering unique experiences, so sometimes technology reduces spontaneity.
Finally, how might travel change in the future?
I think travel will become more personalized and sustainable. With better data, companies will offer tailored trips, but also there will be more attention to environmental impact, carbon offsets, and local benefits. Remote working might lead to longer stays in different places, so people will live temporarily in other countries rather than short holidays. I hope these changes lead to deeper cultural exchange rather than just quick sightseeing.
Thank you. That is the end of the speaking test.
The candidate demonstrated Band 6 level performance. Notable grammatical errors included saying, I have been lived here for 5 years when it should be, I have lived here for 5 years, and saying, I am very interested about music when it should be, I am very interested in music. Another example was, she have 3 brother instead of, she has 3 brothers. These errors occurred occasionally across the test, and they did not prevent understanding, though they were noticeable. Fluency was generally good with natural flow, some hesitations like, and brief self-corrections such as, sorry, but overall, the candidate spoke at a steady pace. Vocabulary was adequate and varied with words like over-tourism, sustainable, and perspective, but there were some imprecise choices and collocation slips. Grammatically, the candidate handled basic and some complex structures well, but made repeated errors with verb forms, articles, and prepositions. This performance fits Band 6 because communication was clear and coherent. The candidate used a reasonable range of vocabulary and spoke at length, but grammatical inaccuracies and occasional inappropriate word choice prevented a higher score. To reach Band 7, the candidate would need more consistent control over verb tenses and prepositions, fewer frequent basic errors, and more precise lexical choices in less familiar topics. Thank you for practicing with this IELTS speaking mock test. Visit Spinta for more comprehensive mock tests and personalized feedback to boost your IELTS score.